how I went through my fertility journey. And as I speak to you now, I am a mom of cute 3 children. And God blessed me with this case through IVF. Hello my lovely people, welcome back once again to my channel. If you are stopping by here for the first time, my name is Tina Isoa. I'm a YouTuber based in Owerri, Nigeria. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do me well by clicking on the red subscribe button, okay? So today, the long awaited gist, my story, my fertility journey, my conception stories has finally come. So guys, I have finally summoned the courage, as in my spirit is now high to talk about it. Yes, I just have to say that I have a friend, Dr. Evangel Anyanwu, who just shared her story last week or last 2 weeks. Yeah, last week. So I'm a kind of motivated to talk about mine. The first person I actually that shared her IVF story on YouTube was, aside the ones you see from people in abroad, was Stephanie Coco. It's a celebrity in Nigeria. Stephanie Coca Adere, whatever. I can't remember the other Yoruba name. So I watched her story. I was like, oh, which day will I have this courage to come boldly and talk about mine? And having seen my friend's story, her fertility journey last week, I was like, I even told her that I am moved. I am now courageous. I now feel I should go ahead and talk about mine. I just want to talk about this, not because I want people to pity me or feel that, hey, you're lucky or what. I just want to talk about it so that I will encourage someone to take a bold step. If you have tried all your possible best, you don't need to go on at the days where people will stay like 20 years in marriage, 30 years in marriage without conceiving. Babe, sit up. Guys, sit up. Take this bold step, okay? I am here today to tell you guys how I went through my fertility journey. And as I speak to you now, I am a mom of cute 3 children. I know I have to introduce them to my channel, Jason, Janice, and Joanne. Yes, they're my kids, and God blessed me with this case through IVF. There was a video I made about the one I tagged, I tried Jeff Buckley song. I actually asked in that video whether should I talk about my IVF story, and a lot of people DM me. A lot of people said that we are eager waiting to hear the story, even on Facebook and all that. Why I said that, I wanted to like see if I can be courageous enough to say it. So I've actually and in that video I introduced my children and my husband to the family. So the first thing I will be talking about, I know most of the intro to this whole story I've actually highlighted them on this my channel, will be when I met my husband. I met my husband in 2009, and we got married in court. We got married in court 2011, 5th of August. Did our traditional marriage on the 20th of August, and our white wedding, or that's church wedding, was on the 5th of November 2011. Yeah, before our wedding, funny enough, my husband was like that he's not one of those men that would get married and want to jump into having kids immediately. I was like, why would this guy be talking this like this? I am an African woman. Oh, people will start looking at me and will like, is she pregnant and all that. So, but when we got married, I think the eve before our wedding, or yeah, the day we got married, I told him that, babe, are we going to start? Why? Yes, of course, we have started our honeymoon and all that. So I was like asking him, babe, this thing you said some time ago, are you really serious about it? He said, no, of course he's not serious. I said, okay, better withdraw that statement. And he was like, I've withdrawn it. To why would I want to have kids now and all that? So, guys, the journey began. It was not easy. You know, like when a normal woman, a normal man, everything was okay. And you see your period, you know your cycle and everything. Before you were playing safe games, and now you don't want to play safe games and nothing is happening. I expected, in fact, the day I wedded, I saw my period that day. I was like, 14 days should come. the next 14 days, I'll get pregnant and all that and all that. Ovulation, you know that. Guys, I'm just gisting this thing and making having this look because I know sometimes I may get emotional when I start talking about what I went through, but I just want to ease off. I just want to ease off. Let me just put it that way. I just want to ease off. So the first month went by, nothing happened. December, I saw my period. I was like, what happened? What's going on? January, the next year, being 2012, I saw my period. I was like, I have to start to. My husband was like, I beg, this guy, his shock observer is not here. He didn't even care. He doesn't even care about what I'm talking about. You know, as an African woman, I was like, I want to get pregnant. The people were looking at me, you know, that look, is she pregnant and all that. January passed, February passed, March. A friend of mine, Cynthia, came to my house. I was like, girl, I don't know what to do. She said, okay, let's go to doctor. We went to doctor. Doctor checked me. Please, people, if you know any woman trying to conceive, make una dey pity them. Oh. Just don't pity me now because my own end is full of joy and testimony and good news. At the point of trying, even going to hospitals, it's not easy. The temptations are much. I went to doctor. He checked me. Everything was okay. So at that point, they didn't even think of inviting my husband anyway. Everything was okay. He gave me all these hormonal stimulation drugs so that I could produce more eggs if anything was wrong with me ovulating properly and bringing up egg. I'm just using these simple terminologies. So bringing up eggs. And nothing was happening. I took the drugs. I could remember the name. I don't know if it may be wrong for me to mention them. I could remember the drugs. I kept taking these drugs that when I take it, my head will like be vibrating me and all that. And after taking drugs upon drugs and doing everything, nothing is happening. So after that was April, May, June, July of 2012, nothing was happening. I now went to my friends. A lot of them started advising me, hey, try Ajumbi, say try this one, try that one. I went to Ngwa in Abia State. I don't know if you guys know, somewhere in Ngwa. I could remember the day I was on top of bike. I was flying anywhere they tell me go, I will go. And they will assure me, don't worry, buy this, buy that, bring this money and all that. I was drinking everything. They said bring. I was drinking. I kept drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking. At a point, I just told myself one day that I'm not going to take them again. That was towards the tail end of 2012. I told myself I'm not going to take them again. I went back to hospitals again. I said, I can't be in the medical line, orthodox drugs line, and I'm taking trado drugs. I went back to hospitals. My husband was invited. The hospital in here in Owerri, my husband was invited and they did screen, semen analysis, everything was okay for both of us. Everything was okay. That's hormonal assay. Everything was perfectly okay. Meanwhile, before then, the first time I went for test, they said my prolactin level was a little high and they gave me drugs, which I know the drug, I wouldn't want to mention it. So they gave me drugs and I took it, suppressed it, everything became normal. So the later hospital we went, they did all the screening. We went to different places. We went to Port Harcourt. We went to different hospitals, just trying to make sure that what this person is saying is equally what this person is saying. So at the end of the day, everything was normal. They just told us, you're less than 35. Just go and relax. Your husband is this, that. And just go home and relax. You guys are young. You don't need to start worrying and all that. You know all those stories. You don't need to start worrying and all. Guy, you don't need to start worrying. So how long? But I just want to tell you guys, the pressure from friends. In fact, a woman said to someone that knows me that came to tell me, they were gossiping that I don't have a womb. A woman said, I don't even know. Did I show her my womb? Did I take her to hospital? Was there any time I took her to hospital to come and check my womb and see that there is nothing in my womb? It's not easy. In fact, guys, anyone you see, just pity them. A man told me that when the kids was disturbing in the compound where I was living, he was like, don't worry, it's because you don't have kids now. When you have kids, you will know that kids cannot be controlled the way you want it. As in, you're living and shouting at my head every now and then by my window side. Every now you're coming to play football and all that. Imagine a woman that is married, her husband is not around. I'm practically living alone in 3-bedroom flat. As of then, I was living alone in 3-bedroom flat, no help, nobody. I go to work, come back, I lie down, I want to sleep. Somebody is playing football on my head. If I complain, say you don't have kids, that's why, you know, that kind of a thing. I would just go inside and cry and clean my tears, and my husband would like, don't mind them, don't worry, one day, someday it will happen. So now, as I'm talking to you now, my kids are outside in the same compound playing football or playing or doing whatever they are doing there. I keep telling them, go ahead and do it. That was what someone in this compound told me. Say I don't have kids, I will not understand. Now I understand. You guys go outside and play. Don't mind me, I'm being funny here. So I went to hospitals. At a point, that was early 2013. I decided to go back to Trado. My friend told me that this one is the last bus stop. The sister did this and that. I went to the woman. She gave me drugs. And you know what funny thing with this whole thing is that when they are giving you as a woman, they will tell your husband to be drinking. Initially, my husband was not drinking. No. He said, Madam, drink your thing. But when I went to this last one, I tried to convince him. I used all available means. I convinced him, babe, start taking it. And he was drinking it. But one day like that was 2013, he now called me. He said, babe, I said, do you know this drug you're taking? From today, I'm not going to take it with you. I said, why? He said, you can't be this enlightened and you're deceiving yourself. Like he has just read about IVF or artificial insemination, that I think he will go and try that he's not going to take this drug again. I was like, some will be so slimy like this that somebody will tell you to be drinking it and you will just and be drinking. So that day I now decided that I'm not going to take these drugs again. The 5-liter can or keg the woman gave me, I just carried it, I threw it away. So we decided to pray. It's not as if all this whole thing at the time that we are not praying. No, we are kabashing, praying. Every spirit, every power, hey, Holy Ghost, fire, water, we were praying and believing that God will do it. But guys, God still did it in his own time, at his own way. Yes, that's just it. Because if you watch that my video, I said it is better I come out and tell you this is what I did to conceive, rather than the one that is trending and they will call it a cryo, I don't even know what they call it, something pregnancy. I don't know what they call it. People will go and claim that they are pregnant, they are taking hormonal injections, their body is turning like as if they are pregnant. Meanwhile, there is nothing in their stomach. On the day of delivery, they will carry baby from somewhere and give them and tell them you have delivered and all that. It's better I go through normal process and know that yes, I'm the one conceiving and the one carrying my baby. If you want to adopt, there is nothing wrong with that. If you want to adopt, do it legal. Let people know that yes, I adopted my baby. There is nothing wrong with it. Okay, rather than trying to subject your health, your life to dangers. Of course, some of them will pay millions. At the end of the day, they will tell them nothing has happened. So on that day, fateful day, my husband now decided to take me to one clinic in Port Harcourt for IVF. We called them. They said we have to book appointments. We book appointments. We now pay for consultation fee. We now went there. So then when my husband told me this, I kept reading and researching about IVF and artificial insemination. So all my hope was I'm waiting for artificial insemination because that one is very simple and all that. And getting there that day, guys, I just have to talk so that this thing will finish on time. I know it cannot finish. Definitely there will be episode 1, 2, 3 if possible, because I did 3 cycles, guys. Yes, 3 cycles of IVF. So though the first one failed, I'm going to gist you guys as well. So we went that day after consultation, everything. So they told us that, to be very honest with us, that they were advised we'll go for IVF. See me. I was crying like, what was I crying? I was crying. I was shedding tears, crying and crying as if I have lost someone so dear to my heart and all that. But at the end of the day, we left. I told my husband, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. He said, to your tent. You are the one worried. I'm not worried. You're the one worried about this whole thing. If you think you want it, go for it. If you think you don't want it, but do not disturb me in the house again. Babe, come, let's pray, let's do this, let's do that. We'll continue doing our normal life, okay? So I was like, okay. We left. That was 2003, and continued. I still went back to Trado. Guys, I'm just being honest. I was kind of stupid. I was like, people keep telling you, advisors will be coming from left, right, front, center. To the point that I went to a doctor who told me, sure, guys, I don't, I thought I was not going to hide some things. Who told me silly, stupid things? Oh my God. Things are happening. You will go to hospital with your husband for consultation. When it is time to check you, the man will tell your doctor, will tell your husband to excuse. Why is my husband leaving? I had to ask him one day, why is my husband leaving? Anytime, every time they'll be fiddling at, it's not funny. It's not funny. So that's by the way. So at the end of the whole thing, 2014, towards the tail end of 2014, we had to call back the hospital again in Port Harcourt, and we did booked another consultation. They came and told us. Then I was mentally, yes, mentally, physically, I don't know if I'm spiritually ready for the IVF. So we went back after everything. They said we are going to do an IVF session. So they told us all that we needed to do. We'll pay for scheduling fee. We'll go for tests, various tests, infection tests, and so everything. They just gave us overview of everything. Then the next thing that made me cry that day was that, okay, on the day of when we went to pay for the cycle, the first day was for scheduling to ask questions and all that. Then the first consultation day, I went, they told me that they would transfer 2 embryos to me. Guys, isn't this funny? I said, what? Me too? No, God forbid, I reject. I was crying. You were like, but what? People come here and say transfer 5. And you're crying that you don't want to. I said, please, people should give me only 1. I don't want to eat, please. People should give me only 1. I don't want to eat. So at the end of the day, we paid for the scheduling fee. We pay for consultation fees. We pay for the tests, the infection test, hormonal assay, because that was the first thing they did, and the hormonal assay. Maybe one of my videos, I'm going to talk about the costs of both first, second, and third cycles. I'm going to put the cost because I still have their documents. So sorry guys. So we now paid for everything. So they did the test, they checked for rubella, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, HIV 1 and 2, the general hormonal assay, which is prolactin hormone, everything. They did semen analysis for my husband. Everything was kind of okay. But they advised us that if we want to wait, continue waiting, no problem. But if we want to maybe go ahead with the procedure, to me, I was like, let's just go ahead with the procedure so that I will not be having pressure left, right, front, center. In fact, let me tell you guys, the pressure my parents, my people gave me, my mother-in-law, for once, God bless her, for once never called me. You know, this our African mentality. My mother-in-law never for once called me. Tina, what is happening? You know, go give my picking. You know, go do this. She never for once did that. And our love today, is well. So not just because of that, but the love she showed me. Relax. I'm not the first daughter-in-law, neither my second or third or fourth. But you know that every woman wants to see their children having babies and all that, but she never bothered me. Sometimes I will be asking my mother, please, this baby, if I have this baby, am I having it for you and your husband, or am I actually having it for my husband's family? So that was just, I know she was just kind of being worried, but just to tell you guys, the pressure was much for me that I said, no, let's just take the bold step and do it. So I started the procedure fully. They did the test, everything. We paid for drugs, the consultation fees, scheduling fee, and everything. So guys, I started the injection. This procedure is like you have to start giving yourself injections. So I started giving myself injections. And if you choose 9 p.m. in the night, every 9 p.m. and I gave myself injection for more than 30 days. before the actual egg collection. So on the date of egg collection, they collected the egg. My husband donated his semen, that's his sperm. He donated his sperm, and we now went home because that was when they collected the egg. Yes, after 5 days, we came back for embryo transfer. This is like, okay, I didn't give you guys the overview of what IVF is all about. IVF is in vitro fertilization process or procedure. So this is like taking the egg, putting my body in the position of laying or hatching more egg or bringing up more eggs. Like normal ovulation, during ovulation you have more eggs, and they will now take it by means of it's a surgical procedure. They will now take the egg from your uterus, and now put it, or carry this one, like do it in a petri dish, bring the sperm and your egg, put them together, fertilize them. They will now turn to embryo, and on the date that they are supposed to transfer it, they will now transfer it into the woman and wait for the period of waiting, guys. So I don't know where I'm going to cut this video, but wherever this video cuts, we'll continue with episode 2. Okay, I don't know how far. I wouldn't want it to be too long. Okay, so guys, if you have not subscribed, you better subscribe and put on the notification bell so that you will not miss any of these stories. Okay, just to encourage you, just to maybe encourage someone by your side and other. I'm definitely going to put the cost. Yeah, I'm going to put the different cost for the procedure. So on the date of the egg collection, they collected the eggs, and I went home. They actually told me that because I'm young and I hatched about 20 something eggs, they got like 20 something eggs from me, which is like outrageous. So, and I now went home with what they call OHSS, that's ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome. This is like, all the pain in this whole world, they now carry it and put under my uterus, under my stomach. Yeah, I have pain. I was like bending like 99-year-old woman and walking. People will be asking me what is happening and all that. I say, I'm not feeling fine, just covering up and all that. Ew, waiting women that cover no be here. So I was just covering everything with the pains, the drugs. The thing was like turning my brain, making me, I was feeling very uncomfortable. I can't forget, honestly. It's not easy to forget all those procedures. So that's why it's like, this thing happened 2015, because that was when they did the egg collection. If I remember the date, on the 23rd of January 2015. And you can see I still have the date, everything still there. The memories are still there. Okay, so after that, the 7th day, I went for the transfer. That's the embryo transfer, and I was told that 9 out of the 22 eggs that were collected from me, 9 fertilized properly. And this hospital have a policy that I see women giving birth to 5, 6 and all that. I don't know. Of course, there is room for splitting. You can put 2 and it's to split to 4 and all that. But their policy is that they will only put 2, unless if you want 1. Though I begged them for 1, they didn't give me 1. So they transferred 2 embryos, remaining 7. They now asked us, what are they going to do? There is an option for us to pay a certain amount of money, which is even too much. Yes, to me it's too much. Biannually, that's you pay every 6 months for us to cryopreserve the eggs or discard it. At a point, I was feeling like they better discard it too, because trying to tell them to keep it is like challenging God. Is this one not going to work? But at the tail end, me and my husband, we agreed and paid the fee that they should cryopreserve it. That's like putting it in freezer, whatever they call it. But the name is cryopreservation. So they cryopreserve the remaining 7 embryos. And on the date of the transfer, they transferred the 2 embryos. And a long 14 days waiting period came. I was every day I wake up, I feel like, can today be 14th day? Every day I keep waiting, can today be 14th day? Every day I keep waiting, can today be 14th day? It's not easy, guys. They said they gave me the kit to do the pregnancy test in my house and everything. Actually, the day they did the transfer, we left Port Harcourt and came back to Owerri that same day. So, and the 14th day came, and we did the tests, and it was positive. I was so happy. I was feeling like, God, this is the first time in my life, in my marriage, my pregnancy test just came out positive. I went to buy strips. I said, let me be sure. Aside this, they are old kids. Let me be sure. I bought the strips. I tested myself. I was positive. I was like, hey, my husband was carrying me like egg. I was feeling like, come on. Guys, I became pregnant and I called the hospital. They said after 2 days, after 2 weeks, I went back. They did the test. The baby was there, but one survived, one didn't survive. So they now said I have to wait to like 6 weeks or 7 weeks for fetal heartbeat. And guys, on the 7th week, I went back for the fetal heartbeat and there was no heartbeat. Please subscribe to my channel and I'm going to tell you guys what happened because this video is freaking long now. This is the episode 1. So I'm going to tell you guys what happened on the 7th week that there was no fetal heartbeat. I'm going to tell you guys what happened subsequently. Everything that happened, I'm going to tell you guys. Just click on the notification bell, subscribe, click on the notification bell so that whenever if you have any question, private question, feel free to contact me, DM me on my Instagram account. I'll be free to give what I freely got. Okay, subscribe, put on your notification bell so that you will follow up on this success story. I call it success story. There was no heartbeat, but guys, watch to the end, okay? And watch this whole story to the end. I love you guys. Until we meet again.